Michigan. She now lives in Santa Clarita. She enjoys reading, writing, hiking, listening to stories and music, and spending time with family and friends. For her to actually tell a story in front of an audience is a stretch, and she is here to explain why. So please give a warm and welcoming welcome to Faye Beyeler.
A few years ago, I went through a rough period. Why doesn't matter, only that events confused and overwhelmed me, involving betrayal and a lot of loss, personal, people, property, wealth, my identity. My whole life imploded. I so could not comprehend what happened, I was dumbstruck, then struck dumb. My lack of understanding became language loss. I could talk, but I was slow in processing. For all intents and purposes, I was nearly mute. When people talked, I knew they were using nouns and verbs, but I could not identify subjects and actions and sentences. I would transcribe speech verbatim, stare at the paper, block off phrases, but words had multiple meanings. Did bridge mean a physical bridge, or a connection, or a card game? I didn't know, and I would run through each scenario. Moreover, people often leave words out, filling in gaps with body language. Slow to understand, I was slower to respond, and I'd gone through one nightmare that morphed into another one. At times I thought I'd be better off dead, but I'm not suicidal, and that pissed me off no end. I was depressed and grieving, stuck in a place without words. Would I ever recover? Would this ever end? I tried to make sense of what I felt by looking for an image that fit, a community. At that time, we were just coming out of the Great Recession, and I was happy in a weird way that the whole world was in an economic mess, but I couldn't blame Enron, inflation, the housing crisis, or derivative math gone crazy. When I saw devastation from disasters like Hurricane Katrina, with people struggling to meet basic needs, I could relate to their fear, but my problems weren't natural. Besides, these people, they had Red Cross, FEMA, newscasters, and they huddled together in shelters. Not me. I felt so alone. When I saw pictures of Japan before and after the tsunami, a vibrant, lively village washed away, I could relate. I thought, my village washed away too. And when I heard of people losing family members in horrible car crashes, I would inhale and I would say, yes, I know what this feels like, but I did not have an accident to blame. I didn't diminish or compete with anyone's pain. Mine just felt different, and I could not find an image to explain what it felt like. Well, meanwhile, I had to provide for my own basic needs. I wanted to eat. For that, I needed work. I found jobs. Interviews posed the challenge. I always lacked something. Software I didn't know, a social media platform I was unfamiliar with, questions I didn't anticipate. I would stumble while expressing why companies should hire me. Well, I tutored for a long time. I thought, I'll tutor. I can talk about reading and writing, discrete subjects. But math tutors earn more. I figured I'd brush up on math and earn a higher salary. I got books from the library and studied on the couch in the living room in semi-darkness. The TV played muted in the background. Taped shows with familiar actors kept me company. I drew comfort because I knew their story endings. One by one, I'd open math books trying to remember. It was gibberish, frustrating, information I could not process. Unable to understand, I would toss one book aside and open another. Surely this one would make sense. But it didn't. It was horrible. An image flashed by on the TV screen. What did I just see? Pick up the remote. Rewind. Play. A guy in a wheelchair. I'd seen people in wheelchairs before, but something was off with the image. What? Pause. Rewind. Play. Oh, there he was again. but there were two of them. One was a studly badass in a uniform ready to take on the world. The other was a person in a chair. Not all there. Parts missing. Rewind. Turn up the sound. Play. I heard Iraq, maybe it was Iran. I heard munitions expert. I knew munitions expert. I'd seen The Hurt Locker. But in the movie, the hero gets out intact. Not like that guy. Rewind. Turn up the sound. Play. Oh man, not both hands. In his last assignment, he did not defuse the bomb. It exploded, blowing off both hands and legs. That was the end of his career, his normal life, but he didn't die. He was depressed, he was grieving, but not suicidal. I looked down at myself. I had hands. Pause. Rewind. Play. The voiceover said, "The pain never goes away. Somehow you find a new normal." Then I did something I'll never forget. I pushed my glasses up my nose, something I do all day long. I've done it millions of times and I usually take it for granted. And it was something he could not do. I had my image. I closed the books and I started looking for my new normal. I took care of a baby for a year. Then I found work in a family with 3 little girls. I joined Toastmasters. I learned QuickBooks. I learned income taxes. I started tutoring again. Now I work in schools with lots of kids. I talk all the time. Higher level math still remains a mystery, but who I am right now is enough. Thank you.